All right, welcome in, guys. We're in the Colonel Film Room with the men's basketball team. We have the 6 seniors who are all sitting together on one screen. We have head coach Greg Mason. I'm Kyle Piercy. I'll be the host and try to keep this thing moving along. What we'll do is watch the SAA Championship game from March 1st against Barry. We have Seth Stogsdill, a very special guest, who is the color commentator for the tournament, the biggest Colonel fan that the center has. He's here as well. And again, we got head coach Greg Mason, hopeful to have assistant coach Josh Pittman joining us. But this was one of, if not the best, regular season game for any sport that we conference tournament game for any sport that we had this year. And it was a pretty epic game, which is why we're doing this film room. So seniors, first of all, congratulations on your recent graduation, and hope everyone's staying safe. And like you can see on the clock there, we're about 90 seconds from tip-off. And so everybody, welcome, and I appreciate you all making time to do this.
Very able to get
Thank you for having us today.
Thanks, Kyle.
In the late semifinal yesterday, a game that was close with Barry pulling away in about the last 3 to 4 minutes.
We had Jim Tyree doing play-by-play for the tournament, so it was nice having his voice accompanying this game, and hope everyone's buckled up. I was watching this again the other day and got really anxious right before halftime and about halfway through the second half too, even though I knew what was going to happen. So hopefully has anyone watched this game since?
Absolutely.
Got it.
Kyle, I watched it last night for the first time since we played it.
To keep Barry in here today.
Bits and pieces of it, but last night, first time.
That's the biggest thing. And I'll go ahead and save you the question. I think that's the same key for the center Colonels.
There, I got you on that one. As you've heard what Seth thinks about the keys to this game. It'll be center taking on Barry for a Southern Athletic Association Men's Basketball Championship. Coming up in a few seconds, we'll have our national anthem. Then we'll go down the starting lineups and tell you who will be starting in this basketball game. But tournament on the line. Head coaches for these two teams. Of course, for Center College, Greg Mason won his 400th game in the regular season this year for Center College. 400th career head coaching win. And now let's take a look at Center and who they will bring.
So we're kind of skipping ahead a little bit here just to the starting lineups. Same lineup we basically saw all year, Coach, from rookie Carter, joined by 4 seniors in the starting lineup.
Ayers, we mentioned his
Those groups that really fit well together, complemented one another.
It was the second half in the quarterfinal that really got Center past Rhodes, and then yesterday in the semifinal.
Yeah, well, Perry didn't need to take a lot of shots in the second half of yesterday's game.
So I have a question for everybody. How did you guys sleep the night before this one?
That he's ready to take over, and he did that in the first half of yesterday's game.
Seniors, you want to go first?
If the Colonels win this game, it's probably going
They're too busy watching the handshakes. How did you sleep before this game, Greg?
Reasonably well. Probably got about 3 or 4 hours. I mean, what people don't realize, after a game, even if you win by 30 points like we did against Millsaps, you have so many decisions still going through your mind. So about 3 or 4 hours. That's the reason why I take pictures. My wife was laughing about how tired I looked after the celebration, because I think lack of sleep and just the sheer emotion of it all, I think, caught up with all of us.
Yeah, so the Colonels made things interesting in the first round against Rhodes, and then the Millsaps game was pretty was much less dramatic, and Center set the 3-point record. So that's just kind of setting the stage here for this showdown against Barry, and we're officially underway.
Haynes, they go to him immediately.
Take that. Yes, sir. Set the tempo, baby. Yes, sir.
So, fun fact about that charge, Josh Pittman told me that was going to happen on the first play.
We set it up. We knew it. Hey, look, we were just waiting on it.
And
He told me we're going to win by 8 points, and we're going to take a charge on the first play of the game.
1 out of 2 ain't bad, I guess.
Good matchup. Good matchup with Johnson.
Have to watch that one all day. Here's Rakes. Ayers again on the left wing, gets the high screen, and will shoot it from the free throw line. Bottom continues to be hot.
A really good offensive start right here, Perry. You got it to a third side. Perry will get the shot. Now, defensively, the guys will recognize that we were not in the defense we were supposed to be. So a little antsy on the defensive end.
Breaks into the passing lane. There's Walker. What about that? You can see his team. Underneath, wide open.
Hey, Art, what about that cut, man? Never saw it coming.
Start. Center.
Bit of a zone here.
There's a three from Jones. Johnson way up there for the rebound and the foul called.
Yeah.
Bates undercut him.
He did. Johnson took a bad landing there. Going to be a quick Jacob Spencer.
Yeah, Jacob, that was a foul. Sorry to say.
Because
Yeah, this is something we saw a lot in this game was the Spitzer Bates sub kind of back and forth here in the first half.
Yeah, we did that because even the thought process was we were going to have a really hard time guarding Caleb Haynes. And then Austin Brooks, he was a problem. So we knew foul trouble was going to come in big. And that's the reason why we went zone so much the second half. We couldn't guard them, but they couldn't guard us.
To answer an earlier question, Kyle, the only part of the game that I rewatched was the blown goaltend call in the second half, just to see if it was as bad as I thought it was in the moment, and it was actually worse. Can't wait till that happens.
Yeah, that was a big no call.
Ayers for three.
That's Mark Jackson.
Yeah, hey, I'll brag on Perry right here. He was incredible both in the semis and in the finals. Obviously both games, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety in it. And Perry's start, I thought, really gave us a lot of confidence as a group. So his starts, hitting threes and just playing so well, I thought really got us into a good rhythm.
From Spitzer, step back three.
Little push off.
That's what we do. That's what we do. I got that. My 2K, my player be doing that too. I got that move from him. I'm not gonna lie. I'm on the Hornets. I got drafted. They like him.
So we had it's a 10-0 lead pretty quickly. And it's almost going to double. It's hard to tell a little bit. Maybe we can turn the feed up just a hair, Seth. But the home crowd, I thought, as a host, so to speak, each of the last 3 years, but especially this year, I thought the home crowd really helped for each stage of this tournament, and they showed up for this game too.
Bates had announced.
Yeah, second half, especially the last 8 minutes, was incredible.
However,
You want me to turn the feed up?
been in him, and he's been more of a facilitator.
Maybe a hair.
Full court press shown by center. Will they trap out this? No, they will not.
And as the action passes through, look who's sitting right there at half court, front row, both in a white shirt / sweater, but John and Susie Roush.
And the best. Here's third.
Very physical with it. Down on the baseline.
They call it.
And they were ice cold coming out of the gate.
That was the game plan. We had fun. That's that. Ball.
Woo! Exploded. Alumni Gym. Decibel level through the roof.
Jim, I told you Boffman wasn't missing during warm-ups. I know that doesn't mean much. If he does.
The freshman in this game, I think the hard really absolutely. He really stepped up for us.
Johnson can't believe it. He runs completely to the other end of the court. Johnson's mad. He
To the win sprint.
Hey, seniors, what were your all's thoughts? We get up, it's 13-0 right now. We get up 15-0. What was your thoughts? Because I'll give you mine here in a minute.
I'm thinking shutout. Yeah. I thought we was going to win by 50. I think it's going to be one victory. I'm putting it out. We good. What about you, Coach? What was your thoughts?
I knew they were coming back.
Okay.
I was hoping we could get as big a gap, and we did a good job with that because in big games, you want to have somebody who can make layups, and I knew they had 3 guys that could do that, and Haynes and Austin Brooks in their guard. They got good players, and their coach, Coach Cole, is one of the best coaches we go against every year. His offensive concepts and understanding is about as good as you're going to see anywhere.
In the game where Barry beat center, Owen Conrad came off the bench and had an awesome game, hit a bunch of threes.
All right, we'll welcome him in. Assistant coach Josh Pittman now is joining the party at 13-0.
Good.
A little late, fellas.
See ya. Hey! Hey! Yes, sir. I can see you, man. It looked great.
Josh, your plus minus for this game is going to be bad.
We work on that every day in practice.
And that was a great play right there by both Spitz and Perry. Watched that last night. We were flipping that ball screen and trying to get Perry to his right hand with a snake, and flipped it perfectly, and Perry snaked it perfectly and got to his right hand. I thought that was really good action by those 2 guys.
Good team touch
The scoreboard, but it's Ayers working on Johnson, gets the high screen.
Flipping it again.
Spitzer working on Haynes.
This was cash. This is when I knew.
And everybody, we got to give credit to Carter about that. That was the shot that decided the game. We went by 3 points. That was the key shot.
This is one of my favorite calls of the game, the charge on Carter against Haynes.
Good play by Haynes. That was a 90
It's an easy summation of this one so far after the first media timeout. 5 turnovers for Barry, 1 for center, and the Colonels are shooting 7 of 8 from the field, including.
I never like it when there's a charging foul that involves 2 players of disproportionate body types. It's a pet peeve. Carter couldn't have knocked down Hayes if he had a baseball bat.
Good work. Yes, sir. Spitz. Box.
Into the game for center is Dawson Crump.
It's like they're showing a little bit of a zone, maybe a little bit of a sagging defense.
Crump, the 6'1" junior, but Ayers right now hot. Missed the shot. Had a hand in his face there on the right elbow. Quickly to the other end. Get the inside pass on the block left side. Kick it back out to Hanra. Sawada drives, working on Baughman, put it up, missed it. Brooks, the offensive rebound, foul, basket, good. It may have been Spitzer that swiped him on the arm. It was.
Yeah, you got to put a harder foul on Brooks. He can score at the rim against anybody in this league. He's big and strong.
He had a big.
Right, Seth. Austin Brooks was a problem.
It's a little bit of my dad coming out of me there. He's always during Kentucky games like, put him on the ground. But yeah, no kidding. This kid's a problem. He's good.
We'll need Art Walker to tell the story about him blocking out the last play of the game.
Yeah, he throws me. Keep tossing.
There's a good story behind that strategy we had. And I asked Art a specific question. He gave me a specific answer, and it didn't work.
Bates almost lost it, was able to get it over to Purvis. Back to Ayers, 6 on the shot clock.
Purvis.
I think the next possession, KC scores again. Just KC Purvis doing KC Purvis things.
For the key, inside pass now to Dave.
Okay, that was definitely a pass for sure, right?
It was Perry Ayers guarding him. It's an interesting defensive matchup there. That can't last.
Oh, so that's Draymond.
Good. Purvis did not have the angle.
Did you just call yourself Draymond?
You get a bank in 3 and 4 straight from Casey, and you feeling pretty good about your chances here early on.
I know y'all saw the picture after.
Yeah, this was a pretty hard foul.
Where's on the replay? Oh.
KC won the intentional.
Come on now.
I couldn't imagine anyone wanting to go after Dawson like that. You know.
To go here in the first half. Good steal that time by Wilson, and Seth immediately.
And I'm calling it right now. That's player of the year next year. That's SAA player of the year.
Calling it now?
Oh yeah, I'm calling it now.
Gets both to go after the shooter's roll. Sinks the second free throw.
All right, so we're up 24-6, and this is about the time Barry starts shooting a lot of layups.
That's a good shooter.
And hit some threes.
The three-point shooters are into the game for Barry, and Wehunt sinks it from the left corner. That is their first three-point shot of this contest. From around the screen, didn't really use it, throws it and intercepted. That's a bad pass. Tried to go across the court. Sawada with the steal.
Got to stick to Wehunt.
Wehunt will shoot from 23 off the mark. May have been
Here's
just a tad
we
outside
start
of the
playing
range.
a lot on one side. Early in the game, we were moving the basketball and hitting shots, reversing it. We were doing a pretty good job, but there's a lot of possessions where it's a first side and we didn't move the defense and got ourselves in a little bit of a bind. That's the reason why Barry was able to come back. And again, they started shooting a lot of layups.
Both guys going for it, both guys hustling.
Spitzer has picked up his second foul. That may be a factor. We have a media timeout. 11-11 on the clock. Your superstition.
Matt, what are we seeing here as a coach, going into this timeout?
I was thinking we jumped out to a hot start. Obviously good, but, they kind of the right before half, they kind of fucking nailed it back to where they got
off turnover. Barry has yet to get a point off a turnover. Center only committing 2 so far.
But you got to act like you're confident.
On the scoreboard, down 24-9. Wehunt hit a 3 a moment ago. Estes back into the game for Barry. Now Brooks got free, puts the shot up and missed it. Offensive rebound by Jones. Jones up top, around the horn. Estes, he fumbled the basketball, shot the 3, and it rolled in.
That's 2 threes they hit in the first half where the ball bounced around the rim about 4 or 5 times and went in. But we can't complain too much. I mean, Carter banked one in, and we're going to hit some shots as the game goes on. some good fortune for us as well.
That rim is looser because that's the one that Kyle likes to shoot on.
Yeah, I try to practice my dunks and on the rim too much, probably.
I think he's alluding to Kyle. He's saying that you don't have very much touch.
I choose to think of it as, hanging on the rim, things like that. Usually when I'm shooting, it's nothing but net. But
streaky is what I will say.
To Bates. Bates working on Brooks. Nice crossover dribble, kicks it out. Ayers thought about the three.
Go flow. That's the second finish right there. You get in, dish, he come in.
Brooks.
Bates have to be careful here. Spitzer's already got two fouls. Bates has one. Spitzer going to come in now.
How many fouls did we commit in the post that game? Spitz, I think, had 5. Jacob, did you have 4?
I think I had 4, and I convinced the referee to call it on Bailey, so I probably had 5 too.
Bates ended up with 3.
Oh, it's another one. It's another one. It's another one. We were just baiting.
Talking with the center.
We were baiting everybody the whole tournament. It's good, rep.
Here's something that Jacob Bates gave us a real luxury as the year went on. Anytime anybody pressed us, we could just give it to him. Now, here he gives it back to Dawson, but in a lot of games, he just brings it up. And that was a huge luxury that we had.
Bears way out top. Johnson really playing tight on him.
Greg, do we have 5 turnovers against the press all year long this year?
Oh my God! I was so sad he got it. He got it. Yeah, come on, B. He got that. He's like, I should have caught it. He's like, I should have caught it.
It's surprising. We have 2 block shots in this game already. And last year, I don't know about this year, but last year, our leading shot blocker for the season was Keith Purvis, I do believe.
Are you sure it wasn't Bailey?
Man. I remember talking about at the banquet that Casey had the most blocks, which I think shocked everybody, including Casey. Yeah, this guy right here is a problem.
That's the kind of game that Brooks.
I felt like Bailey Rakes blocked at least 1 shot every home game last year.
Maybe 2. I ain't got 2 this game.
Yeah, there's Spitz again. Good job. They do a good job of stunting that, but we were really trying to get Perry to his right hand. No secret there. Perry was very, very good to his right hand. Kentucky even had problems 2 years ago with that.
And Bennon was not able to control it.
And that's one of those things that doesn't show up in the box score, but center coaching staff taking notes on that. He'll be commended for that.
Bates back in, Spitzer down.
This was good action right here for us, too.
And the foul. And
good pass by Dawson. Good roll by Bates. Tells you how athletic 33 is, that he was on the hedge and got back there for the foul.
Okay. Oh, baby. Shout out to the student body, too. Nice section there.
The Vikings, Jim, have done a really good job taking the first punch. They've not really delivered the counter punch yet.
And Bates will get on the scoring column with that free throw. Spitzer back in. Greg Mason already going to situational substitutions as Spitzer will come into the defensive end.
Well, he definitely doesn't want Bates to pick up a second foul along with Spitzer. He's going to take advantage of that every chance he gets.
Spitz did a good job on this right here. That was a pet play Barry had.
And he threw it away.
Spitz jumped that a couple times throughout the game. Did a good job with it.
Hey, what's up, Coach Pitt? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Just relaxing.
I want to hear your input. Like, what are you thinking right here? Talk us through this play.
We're good right now. We're good.
Got the ball. Like,
I get a little nervous here in about 45 minutes, though.
Bates lost his footing there. Didn't have a really good angle at it.
Johnson.
Ayers had no choice but to commit the foul.
Spitzer will come back in now after the foul. Inbounding underneath their own goal. Jones to Estes, back to Jones. Open. For center. On the floor for center as we reset. Ayers, Boffman, Spitzer, Walker, and Rakes. For Barry, they'll go with Estes, Jones, Haynes, Johnson, and Haslam. Basically the starting lineup for Barry. 10 on the shot clock for Ayers. He'll drive.
I'm not sure. He wrapped me up. I know y'all
I see the Walker family right there.
Yeah. I was going to say an Art Walker to the third appearance.
Shout out to
the whole game. They like to sit at the students. Get more life, more energy.
Shout out best DPS officer, my man Dale. Yes, Dale.
Feeling that it's impending.
Yeah, and
We work closely.
like
There was a super student section turnout, and we didn't even have to do any gimmicks to do it. We didn't have to do T-shirts, give away pizza, anything like that.
Schmuck on steroids. Scoring well in the period,
Hey guys, we're up 14 right now with 7 minutes to go, and at halftime it's tied.
Yeah, we try not to think about it.
We wanted to make it interesting. We knew they came to see a show.
Yeah, this one hurts a little bit. I think they hit a 3.
another offensive rebound, another second chance opportunity. We got Ayers on Brooks, one of the coaches for Barry.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another one.
Riley.
That's a really loose rim on that right side there.
Oh, yeah, both.
That boy's shifty. Shifty. It's your shot though. Oh, good pass. Good shot though. That's a good shot.
Yeah, that was actually a really good look. That was good offense. Good pass by Bailey. It just didn't go in.
And it is 3 on
Me? I was on me.
Yeah. Bailey, was that your foul or was that Spitz's foul?
They called it on me.
They called it on Spitz.
I grabbed his arm, coach. I'm not gonna lie.
Ayers and the rest of them are new. It's Crump, Bates, and Walker. Johnson is in there for Barry, along with Brooks and Haynes. Estes and Haslam finishes out the lineup. Ayers the rebound on the missed free throw on the second attempt. Center lead down to 10. That's as close as Barry has been since the opening moments of this game. 5:40 to play, first half. Bates to Walker. And Crump around a high screen, tripped. Walker's going to drive left side, go up, shot swatted away.
A little contact there, maybe, but you know.
The shot right here is filthy. This is the shot of the game right here. Yeah, this was play the game. This changed everything. Other than Bailey's rebound, this is crazy. This was a big shot. This was a big shot. In front of the bench. Talk to him, Crump.
Thought it'd be just a killer for Mitch Cole. They played.
That's pretty on brand there for Dawson.
Again, 5 minutes left. We're up 13.
There on that baseline. Estes steps over to the right. Three on the way. Missed it. Long rebound to Walker and a foul.
How do they call that on me, bro? He comes in like looks. I'm so mad. Not happy. So mad.
Yeah, so now it's Spitz with 3, and I think Jacob with 2 at this point.
That one looked worse on
Brooks is shooting the free throw.
Yes, but if there is a
on
busy
replay
box up,
first.
Brooks has a good game for him. He does miss 6 of his 8 free throws.
That was a hidden stat in the game, too. We went 13 of 22 from 3. But even in doing that, if Barry hits their free throws, it's going to be more of a white knuckle than it already was.
Yeah, they finished 5 of 15 as a team.
Yeah.
Pressure by Johnson here.
I think I want to say Brooks was like 2 for 8, 2 for 9.
Yeah, 2 for 8.
That's why he didn't play down the stretch.
Yeah, which is key because we weren't stopping. Good pass by Dawson right there.
I'll take that though. I like it. Dude, Herb doesn't argue when he calls. He's the nicest thing on the court. He doesn't argue calls.
in this first half.
Rakes back in. Boffman will sit down. Rakes will trigger. Finding Crump.
Another good pass by Dawson.
Air.
Great. Good look. Good pass. That's for me.
Oh, it's Crump. Nowhere trying to block the shot.
Fouled on the floor. They're not going to give him the shot.
Yeah, a good no call on the shooting foul.
Haslam will pick up his first foul.
Still no discernible foul trouble for the Vikes.
Seems like this first half has taken an eternity, but we've had a few foul calls in this one. 14 so far. Ayers fakes the three. Step back. Put it up short.
Coach Pitt told me to shoot that shot, actually.
Coach, that's a lie.
With the referee's giving a flop warning to Spitzer, that's another thing at the Colonels.
He did that.
As the ball swatted away by Haynes, here come the Berry Vikings.
They tried to pick and roll there. Haynes saw it coming.
Yeah. Never seen that help you a lot.
I couldn't believe that flop warning after all of those legitimate charges that were taken in that first half.
Finds Johnson, 10 on the shot clock. They go to Haynes inside. Kick out 3 to Haslam.
Big shot.
Good. That is a huge shot. Mason's going to call timeout.
You got to give Ethan Haslam some credit that weekend. I think for the year, he hit like 8 or 9 threes the entire year. And then against Hendricks hit 5, and I think against us maybe hit 5.
Yeah, he ended up with 4 on 8 tries.
Yeah. I mean, just you play the percentages because I think he was shooting 26, 27% on the year. He did the same thing to Hendricks.
Points in the paint to center's 10, but second chance points, a huge number for Barry, 12 to 5 in that category. They have gotten second opportunities. Now center looking to try and stem the tide on a 7-0 Barry run. Walker using Ayers as a high post. Lee Hunt stays right with him. Crump can't get him the ball. 9 on the shot clock. Walker driving into the lane, dribbles a pass. Spin move. Left it short. Defense inside by Barry. Johnson around Walker. Finds back out, and he's going to back him down, throw it up, and get it to go.
It's all Barry right now, Jim.
He's on the run.
You still have to play to win. Shot selection being iffy for the Colonels.
Drive down by Ayers is stopped. Walker into the lane, kicks it, and now rakes a hesitated 3.
Oh, right there.
He hardly ever makes that shot, but Bailey Rakes just did.
I wish the crowd.
3 of the game for Ethan Haslam.
Yeah, sign of a great game. We hit a tough 3, and they come right back down within 10 seconds, hit another tough 3.
Taken by Barry as Jones is there. Ayers just got caught in no man's land.
Again, they're trying to do the pick and roll with Purvis, and it's just not being effective right now.
Here's Johnson. Yes, Johnson starting to feel it as he puts one down from 12 feet. Center lead at 2. Man-to-man defense by the Vikings. Crump around the screen. Attacking Brooks, has to curl away. Caught down on the baseline, double teamed. Lost the ball, stepped on the baseline. And it goes back to Barry. Turnover, Crump.
This is to call a timeout in that situation. He got trapped in no man's land. Let cooler heads prevail.
That is the 6th turnover for center. They've committed 3 in the last 2 minutes of gameplay. Under a minute to go before halftime. Barry can tie or take the lead in this possession. Both teams in the bonus. Lee Hunt way underneath to Brooks. Tied it up. Brooks with 10 points. He's the difference.
You can't run him because he's so athletic that they just throw it up and he goes and gets it later. Good ball.
So we got a special guest. We got a special guest for everybody. Mr. 1,000-point scorer, Mr. Tuckasai.
From the corner, missed it, and the buzzer sounds. We have not decided anything. We are tied at 36. Center started with a 10-0 run in the first half. Got the lead to 18 with 12 minutes and change to go.
All right, I think I muted the seniors there, but we are at half. Special guest appearance from Tucker. And if anyone needs to use the restroom or whatever, now's the time. Seth, if you don't mind pausing the stream.
Okay, hold on.
Some folks mentioned they wanted to. So we'll get that pause. Go ahead.
If you can just give me a minute, because I have a 1 o'clock webinar I have to get on too. But if you just give me a minute, I'll be right back. I need you.
Okay.
I can be really quick.
You got it, Coach.
All right, we're paused.
Josh, talk a little bit about what the message was from the staff at halftime. I'm going to try to unmute these seniors here. I think I did that on accident.
Well, we weren't really worried. I mean, obviously, if you would have told me it was tied before the game at half, I'd have been okay with it. Circumstance, I think we were up 18-2. It kind of, you're kind of, I mean, in the back of your head, you're like, man, we kind of got them back in the game, but credit to those guys. But, you know, we walk in at halftime, guys aren't worried. You know, at this stage, we got them right where we want them. We're tied. So we're not down. Guys are still upbeat. Guys are still positive. It wasn't about, I don't think, X's and O's. You know, and a lot of times with a senior team, we kind of let those guys, you know, we would ask them, what are you seeing? What do you think? And so most of the time it was let the seniors step up and talk and kind of say, hey, this is what we're seeing. This is what we need to do. Okay, that's what we're going to roll with. So, you know, credit to those guys. I mean, it's easy to coach those guys. I'll be honest with you when they're calling the shots and they see a lot of things. So, you know, it was an upbeat, positive locker room, which was good. So we felt pretty good about where we were, and you know, it was a good game, good first half.
Yeah, what was the what went into the decision for Dawson to start the second half?
I think we just felt like we needed some energy. I mean, they obviously closed out the second half or the first half on a good run, and so Dawson obviously brings a little fire, and so it wasn't anything Carter did or anything like that. But we just said, hey, look, we need to come out of the gates. The first 4 minutes kind of set the tone, and we felt like we were going to roll with Dawson and Carter, you know, being the type of teammate Carter is. Carter said, let's do it. I'll fully support that. So, you know, Dawson obviously brings something that, you know, you probably love him when he's on your team and you probably hate him if you got to play against him. So, you know, but Dawson played well.
Yeah. All right, we got Greg back, and we are Coach Mason back and ready to go. We are starting the second half here.
Here we go.
Tie game.
3 tournament.
Again, Dawson Crump getting the start in the second half, but otherwise basically starting back
the key on the center side of
0.
Nope. Johnson stepped in, knocked it out of bounds. It'll just count as a deflection. Couldn't get there, but stepped right in front of Ayers. Johnson has been on Ayers' hip since he started hot in the shooting.
Yeah, and that Ayers got off to a quick start. He hasn't gotten a lot of shots.
Seniors, what was your all's
you
know, attitude like it in the locker room at halftime?
Jones.
Kern's got to hurry now. 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Seth with the eagle eye. 4 on the shot clock. Coach is right in front of us for Barry. Giving some instructions. They go to Ayers. Ayers to Crump for a quick 3. Off the mark. Rebounded by Bates, and then he lost it when he lost his balance. Haslam will run in and get the ball. And Barry now
right to Haynes
on the offensive set. Bates in there. Guarding Haynes. We'll let him go out near the top of the key. Jones and now Haslam with
low.
They go double team. Estes will do a hesitated 3 off the mark. And the rebound to Rakes. Both teams cold on their first shot. Bates for 3, left side, short. Fight for the rebound, loose, taken by Jones.
Too quick.
Cole was wanting an over the back call down there. That was a bit optimistic. Johnson left side will entry pass to Haynes. Haynes wants to bump, now kick out. Johnson 3, off the mark, rebounded, nice block out by Bates. He'll hand to Ayers.
I don't know what the rebound totals were in the game. Kyle or Seth, you may have those, but I thought we did a really good job for the most part with the rebounding. Barry has good players and a good scheme, but one of the secrets of them is their rebounding and their defense. They do both really, really well.
Yeah, it was almost even. They had 30 to our 29 total.
Okay.
But I was the one inputting stats, so you know you can blame me if I missed one or two.
I would definitely take 30-29 against these guys.
Right.
Especially with 33.
That is
Very
number
good
3.
size. Point
Foul
guard,
trouble
6'2", almost 200 pounds.
with some
Their wings,
fouls
6'5".
on them. Both with 3.
Casey ends up
We'll see
leading
if Mason makes a move.
our team with 7 individually.
Casey Purvis did?
Interesting.
Wow.
Johnson, throw, good. Lead for Barry, first lead of the game.
Center shot selection has been awful in the first 2 minutes and change here. Credit Barry's defense taking them out of any kind of comfortable look.
Second free throw goes for Micah Johnson, a 71% free throw shooter. And it's Barry's lead by 2, their first of the game. Walker.
I'm being very critical of the team here so that it's okay for me to openly cheer them in the final 5 minutes like I do.
Of the circle. 9 on the shot clock. Rakes got free. Layup. His hand went through the rim.
Yeah, I think Seth calls for
for
Coach Mason's job at some point during this second half. But
It's Spitzer in the ballgame for the Colonels.
I started trying. I noticed that the ball screen action, Barry was doing a really good job guarding after the initial 7-8 minutes. I tried to start getting the ball into Jacob Bates in the post a little bit, and it's not working right now. But in the last 5 minutes, it was beyond key. Here you go. There's Haslam again. Coming up.
And he's hit 7 in this building. It was 19%.
Coming down the stretch, Jacob Bates inserted his will on the game offensively.
They're going to have to do that, though. Offensive foul.
Charge foul on Spitzer. That is number 4. Not really a charge, it's just a screen.
Yeah,
it's called.
He stuck his butt out, got the defender.
And he will immediately set down. It'll be Purvis back into the game. Haynes listed at 240. KC Purvis listed at 205.
sure, are y'all getting audio from the seniors? I see they're not muted, but I'm also not hearing anything.
To extend their lead. Side. They go right to Haynes. He'll go up off the window. No good. Purvis able to get up and get the rebound.
Good defense by Purvis. He forced Haynes into a tough shot.
It went right to him. Ayers goes around a couple of screens there. Finds Crump on the other side. Crump into the lane, goes to Purvis. Ball knocked away, able to regain control. Finds Walker. 10 on the shot clock. Ayers working on Johnson. Goes in. Layup off the mark. Fight for the rebound.
Barry's really doing a good job of guarding the basketball. We call it win the first dribble. It's hard for us right now to get any dribble penetration. We were playing drive and kick early in the game. That was a good possession. Bailey got 2 feet in the paint. And Barry started doing a good job there guarding the ball.
Had Art Walker in the corner.
Coach Jeremy Carlson on the baseline.
Got us ready for the game.
A 3-point lead for Barry. The foul occurred on the floor. Rakes will trigger underneath the center goal. A couple of substitutions. Brooks comes back in. He had 10 points in the first half to lead Barry. Trump finds Walker. The other substitution was Dawson Wehunt. Rakes down underneath, looking for Purvis. He was just defended well by Haslem. Loose ball comes up to the Vikings. Inside to Brooks, working on Purvis. Tries to back him down. Nice job of standing his ground by Purvis. Walker goes over to Jones on the other side on defense. Haslam.
Hey, so a little bit of a lull in the action right now, other than I think Haslam. No, he misses that one. So the story with about 5 seconds to go when Dawson was at the line for shot by Perry.
Timely shot by Perry Ayers.
5 seconds to go, Dawson's at the line. We're up 3, and I pulled Art Walker over. I said, Art,
into it.
if we foul up 3 inside of 5 seconds, can you promise me that you will keep 33 off the glass? And Art, you remember your answer to me? Absolutely, Coach. Put me on him. And so I said, okay. So obviously we fouled And Art play just absolutely gets obliterated. And afterwards, Art, what did you tell me about how strong Austin Brooks is?
Points and a chance to give his team a
Art, I think you're
3-point lead
muted.
again.
Yeah, turn y'all's mic up a little bit if you can.
Come back.
Yeah, Art, what did you remember what you told me after the game? Yeah, Art gave it everything he could, and that guy, sometimes the other guy across from him just may be stronger.
2-point game down in
That's a
Georgia.
foul.
Here's Bates with the spin move.
Didn't get called there, but we get a big one late in the game that wasn't as noticeable.
That gets worse every time I see it. Oh my gosh.
If it's pinned against the backboard, that's
Foul
good.
today, 10 times worse.
Johnson working on Bates, baseline. He went out of bounds.
Yeah, we obviously don't have the most high res type of stream, but even back there, you can still, you know, see it very clearly.
Foul is first. Barry won by 2.
And the dude stepped on the baseline before the contact happened there. It happened right in front of me. So that's 2 bad calls in a row.
Yeah, right now,
officiating's not easy.
Yeah, right now we're frustrated and spending a little bit too much time on the officials. I'm going to give Perry Ayers credit because there was a time, probably in about another 5 or 6 minutes at a media timeout, and he calmed us down and pretty much said, guys, we got to quit complaining about the officials so much and just play the game. And that's when we went back on our run.
Fouls mounting for the Colonels.
I am assuming the rule is the same across every level.
And that's a credit to the poise of your team, because if memory serves, the first matchup between Center and Barry, there were a couple of calls that didn't go Barry's way, and it kind of took them out of the game in the second half and allowed us to make our run. That and Bailey Riggs hit like 10 threes or something. He caught fire in that game.
Big shot for the Kerns.
Yeah, we have mostly seniors out there, and for the most part, 2 other guys played a lot of minutes were Casey and Dawson. A lot of seniors, a lot of juniors, guys who have been through the battles before.
So yeah, I'm glad you guys were less rattled than I was.
See, this is action right here. We went to a lot late, and we were trying to drive them, but it worked a lot better when it was against Ethan Haynes instead of 33. And see, now they're going with their bigot lineup again. And we don't start doing it yet, but my plan going into the game was when they went big like this to put Art in the corner and try to get them in lift action. And Art hits a big 3 in a couple minutes. I mean, they're just good. They guard the ball, and they're good at the rim.
Coach, can you hear us?
Can now.
Okay, awesome.
Johnson to Brooks, going to work.
Yeah, strategy-wise, we're in the 2-3 zone just because we can't guard their 2 bigs. If we went man, we would have been in worse foul trouble than we ended up. So we're trying to get Haynes out on the floor. And actually, Art was – we got a foul right there. But Art's – we're starting to see that they're losing Art on the perimeter. That comes up big down the stretch.
Down the floor.
Oh, shout out. I see little basketball team. Shout out.
Points can get to 20 with this free throw.
I submit that it was the best non-NCAA crowd in the history of Alumni Gym.
Yeah, because he had some early season struggles from the line.
Very good.
Bounces
You know how hard it is to put people in the stands with some popcorn at halftime. Do it all.
We did a half-court shot in one of these games. I think Ellen Hicks ended up hitting it.
4 fouls. And Brooks just having
Also, Brooks is a problem. We can't stop him. We don't really have any answers. And you can't really double him.
Ayers finds Purvis, and now
Spitz is trying to get depth, and
Yeah, he's
guy's a moose.
Now, how many more years do we have to deal with this guy? 2 or 3?
He was
One.
Yeah, he one more year. At this point right here, guys, it doesn't look very good.
7-point lead. Wehunt with a great pass to find Johnson.
Yeah, he's a transfer, right? But I think he's only got 1 year left.
I knew he was JUCO, but I didn't know if he was a sophomore or junior.
Yeah, he's a junior college kid and good ball player.
He might be a good edge linebacker, too, if they needed some help in the fall.
They don't need any more help. The last one of their programs that needs additional help is their football team.
Yeah, so Green Pants is one of our best fans throughout the game. Watch her coming down the stretch. She is fired up. But now this is probably the media timeout that Perry talks up in the huddle and says, guys, we're spending too much time with the referees. Let's play. And it reset us.
I think I might have forgotten one of the timeouts to skip through. Seth, if you want to fast forward us through, you can. I mean, it's about a minute, but.
Yes, and I will remember the cursor this time.
I thought I got them all cut out. Yeah, that was that corner 3 from Micah Johnson. That was a big shot, especially someone like that. I know you guys aren't kind of giving him some space, but that corner 3 was that one hurt.
Yeah, that could have been a dagger to a lesser team.
Yeah.
But thankfully, we did not have a lesser team.
I think that was only 3 that hit that game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Just under 20 points a game. Walker.
Well, you sagged on the 19% three-point shooter, like you should have, and I think he hit 5.
And some other way. Ayers. Kick it now to Crump.
They should attack the basket with Brooks out of there.
We're just having a hard time beating them off the bounce. But 2 things, going back to what you're all saying at the break, is 2 things that were the strength of our team. Probably offensively, we were really, really hard to guard. We had 5 guys who could score on the floor at most times from the perimeter. And the second thing would be our resiliency. And it shot right there. I mean,
Wow.
On the short list of big shots in that game, that's up there.
We're digging.
That's a good. Such a yeah, 8 minutes. Yeah. So they said I did get nervous at that.
For Mitch Cole.
Hey,
Pick and roll.
After one of those timeouts, we were talking right next to each other.
Haynes has gotten a hand on a number of loose balls in this one so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
What? I didn't hear you guys. What you saying?
You remember what I said to you after one of the timeouts? I don't know if it'll be on here. About how we're built for this. We're gonna take care of this.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, all right.
Don't worry, we built for this.
I'm pretty sure on that last 3 that you hit on the out-of-bounds play, I asked you what play you wanted.
Yeah.
Pretty good call on your part.
Appreciate you, man.
Both in the game. Haslam will be the one to sit down. Mitch Cole likes the defense that the inside guys have been playing as center, trying to attack the rim.
I know you all are, fighting for a lot here, but just imagine the what I would have to put up with on Twitter if Barry wins this one. So I appreciate y'all coming through for me and the communications office. I know that was kind of at the front of your all's priorities.
Yeah, Kyle, don't make sure you tag him on Twitter after this.
I mean, the best was when we talked crap to Hendricks when they did their whiteout gimmick.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Just again, proof that it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Hey guys, here's where we're starting. And Art, that was a little bit of a tough shot, but the one before, we're going to our wedge play, which actually that was the big play that we used to beat them the first time in a hard-fought game here. And we're just trying to get Ethan Haynes on the perimeter. He's a good player, but probably not his strength is guarding on the perimeter. So Art hit a big shot and kind of got us going a little bit. At this point right here, I feel like we're starting to make our second run at them.
Breather. He has played extremely well in this.
To their credit, we would give them a haymaker. They'd come back, and I remember one hit a big three that he hasn't been hitting during the year. Haslam hit one. Jones hit one off of action. That was, I mean, just a great game. This is a good basketball game.
Barry by 5 and with the ball.
This right here, this is a special lineup. We got like to call this lineup the cloud lineup. There's 5 roommates right here. We were all roommates at one point.
Yeah, here's the 3. We gave him a little bit too much of a gap. But to his credit, he's a freshman making a big shot. I mean, we're down 8 with 9 minutes to go.
Big plays, though. We make big plays. Starts right here.
Man fell down, but they couldn't get it.
I bet you cashed up for a second.
Barry committed only 1 turnover in the second half. Now even at 10 apiece in that category.
Barry kind of pulling away from this thing.
8-point lead. They have withstood the barrage.
Energy, baby. Hey, man, I'm your biggest cheerleader right now.
Yeah, Spitz did a good job right there fighting him off.
Like, my man's right there.
Yeah, if he catches with a foot in the paint, it's a bucket. You can't get a dig on him or anything. But Spitz fought him and got him deep enough where, you know, with Austin Brooks, let him go to the free throw line. Don't let him shoot a layup. Is that number 5 on Spitz?
Oh, yeah, probably.
That's probably 5 they called, Coach. He probably got away with more. You ask Spitz, though, he never fouls.
5 fouls and a flop warning. What a day.
Brooks misses both free throws here, which is key. If we got down 10, that would have been a tough road.
I don't lie. Tell him, Spitz.
Greg, you know Austin Brooks is going to watch this and just do nothing but shoot free throws for the next 5 months.
I'm sure Coach.
It's all your fault.
I'm sure Coach Cole's already had that talk.
These aren't close.
That's a
That one was wide right.
And we're trying to get Jacob involved in the post. He's been in foul trouble, so it's been hard. Right when we need him to start picking it up, he does.
Kind of drove into that double team.
And he's the one that has to guard Brooks. They want to go right to him.
Thinks he's doing a good job here.
Sawada curls away from the defense. Now Johnson, who's back into the game, to Haynes for a shot outside of the
Yeah,
That was a good possession of defense right there.
Yeah, they had 2 chances. Yeah, long 2. That's what you want, Seth. And They had 2 chances to go up 10, and fortunately for us, they didn't do it.
Because, Haynes in the semifinals against Hendricks hit a couple of jump shots, and I'd never seen him take jump shots before.
He did. He did in this game here in a little bit. He hits a big 17-footer. Yeah, big shot.
Big shot.
Yeah, good pass by Bailey. We just drive and kick.
The intensity's there.
No, we know we're about to make it. Yeah, we know it.
Yeah, again, we're in the 2-3 zone just because we can't guard these guys straight up in the post. They called a foul, but Jacob did a good job of just pulling the chair out.
Yeah, that one looked like a travel before the offensive foul. But
Well, that makes up for the goaltend.
well, I mean, he finishes with. I mean, he ends up with 4 fouls, so it's a big call.
It may have gotten us in a double bonus. Martin with a big 3.
Oh, shot.
Threes in a row. Walker and Crump. Little zone look here by center.
Got to watch offensive boards here.
Into the corner to Estes, back out. 13 on the shot clock.
Might be a matchup zone.
Yeah, this is a
Jones
big
for 3. Moving to his right.
an unfair shot, but to our credit, we come back down. And again, we never blinked.
Both teams just launching bombs right now.
Big play right here, trying to get Jacob involved. And getting that first foul about 2 minutes into the game really kind of hurt our rhythm offensively.
Attack the zone perfectly. And Haynes with his first bucket of the second half.
Coming back to basic. We work this play a little bit, and then late we go to another play that was good for us. And yeah, I didn't like that call. I don't like charges.
Hey, nice vert.
Coach still got a little athleticism in him.
Yep. Yeah, that was an and one.
Yeah, I agree. I think charges are probably 10% of the right call. Usually it's
when in doubt, just call a block. But we benefited from some charges called too. Again, guys, they're shooting layups. Honestly, we're in trouble right now.
I said, no, Mr. Ruff, that was on Bailey. Yeah, we got that. Right there.
When one team's shooting layups and another team is shooting jump shots, the team that's shooting layups are generally going to win. So things start shifting about right now.
That was really good persuasion skills to get that foul changed. It's another thing, it doesn't show up in the box score.
Mary's going to have to knock down some free throws if they're going to secure this victory.
Just a 62% shooter. And if he knows the second one.
Free throws were big.
I mean, there's a 4-point swing right there. Nice Shane Falco jersey in the crowd. Kyle, did you let him borrow yours?
Yes, I did.
So we'll step aside too.
These are early ones.
Center has fought back a little bit, some energy in the last few minutes of gameplay. We're at 4:41 left to go. Barry will have the basketball. Right in front of their own bench on their end of the floor. Well, Jim Tyree says Stocks will go ahead.
Here's where we come out in a 1-3-1, and this is my way of saying we can't guard you, man. We can't guard you 2-3. Let's try this. Sometimes desperation comes into some coaching decisions, and we do a good job here.
Open on this.
Estes to Johnson, going to drive the baseline, which is what you do. Thrown out.
We get a contested three, get the rebound. Good possession by us.
He wanted it. He wanted it.
Yeah, I think this is where
Yep, it's attacking. We knew what we were doing.
yeah.
We can't go. 13 about it. All
Now a 2-3.
You would expect nothing less from these two teams. One down. Wow. It brought rain with it, and Estes has 6.
Big shot by DJ Estes. All the momentum was with center. He just shot right over the top of Bailey Riggs.
Bates going to
And everybody in the gym knows what we're doing. That's just players making plays right now.
And this is where, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't see Austin Brooks for a while here, right?
Could be.
There was a point
he
where
goes about 6 minutes on the bench.
whoa, Bob.
Big move by Bates. Yeah, and I think what happened is that, I mean, all during the year, Haynes was a first or second team All-League guy. 20's a good basketball player. He's a scholarship transfer. And so I think late in the year, Brooks started playing great. And I think they weren't quite used to it because 20 during the year played better than Brooks. That was a great defensive possession on us. And now we're starting to get momentum. Here comes Basic.
Walker, and Walker lost it out of bounds. Stays with center, though, as Estes put his hand on it before it went over the baseline.
And again, lucky break for the Colonels. Walker didn't make a clean catch.
It may have been tipped on the way to it.
Could have been, though.
Yeah, they're all yelling ISO. Yeah. Here's the play of the game.
3! No.
Rakes.
Really?
Come on.
Yeah, y'all didn't see it, but President Roush is on the sidelines rolling his sleeves up. He's ready to do battle. And then Barry comes right back and scores. They're not going away. Neither are we.
It was almost all Haynes down the stretch for them. They ran everything for him.
Cole hasn't gone
He's almost 1 on 5, and he still scored almost every time.
Bates against Haynes.
We didn't have a good angle for the shoulder, Jim, but it's an easier call to make when the feet are shuffling. So Bates is not moving very well right now. Could have banged knees with him, which is an unenviable task right now for Bates because he's got a 1-and-1.
Trying to walk off. He was 1 of 2 in the second half. And we mentioned then that he is a 73% free throw shooter on the season. He made more trips there than any other Colonel.
Bates walking gingerly. This is going to be a tough set of free throws.
Yes.
Seth was just putting on the anti-jinx right there.
You looked like you were in pain, Bates.
Yeah, right here, we were going to go with our 1-3-1 zone on a make. We got the make, and watch how easy they score again. Credit to their offense. Again, we're just trying to buy a stop because we can't stop them low block. Bailey, bless his heart, this was a tough matchup. They sealed out. Actually, Dawson. We were trying to keep the ball out of the post, and that's exactly what we ended up getting. Good execution by Barry.
Oh, man, I'm too short.
I think I keep us here for these 30 seconds. So if you all want to talk about kind of what the game plan is or what's kind of going on in the huddle.
Yeah, right now, I think I can't remember the play we come out with, but I think it's probably something to Bates. Barry did a really good job. They adjusted and put Johnson, number 2, on Barry. And, yeah, I mean, Barry, speak up, but I think he could be one-on-one, maybe the best defender in the conference. I don't know if Perry can hear us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I would definitely say so. I mean, very athletic, quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to backdoor him, and he denied the pass and denied the backdoor. So that's when you can do that, you got to –
very important going forward.
See the huddle of Greg Mason and his bench on the center sideline.
I guarantee it's something coming to Bates.
I think it's an ISO to Bates. Does he get an and one this time?
He may.
Well, the ISO has been successful. I don't think it will be with Brooks in there in place of Haynes. I think they're going to have to get their points from somewhere else on this trip. Probably Perry Ayers or maybe a penetration and kick out.
Gosh, the color commentator on this is such a dummy.
Couldn't be farther off from that one.
In fairness to me, I'm not an athlete.
Yeah. Here's where Brooks gets, I think, called for verticality. He's not as bad here, but this may be a little bit of a makeup for the miss. Yeah, he's –
That's a rough call, too. Sorry, Brooks.
Pick up number 4.
Oh, that is a big –
doing it all game, and maybe it was on the line. That's a 50-50 call to benefit. But, again, a great move by Jacob. I mean, this guy's been at the rim blocking shots all day long. So, get into his body and get an and one.
Yeah, I felt like that was the first time that we scored on him
been scoring the
the entire game.
Hayes has played great down the stretch, too. So, you can't really go wrong on this situation if you're Mitch Cole. Bates now into double. Missed the free throw. That's a big miss.
10 in his half, 1 in the first. He's got 11. Johnson.
Thought there was going to be a timeout. They were just getting the play call.
Under a minute to play. Jones picks up his dribble. Round to Johnson. Johnson.
You get a big stop here. They take that's the shot we would want them to take.
1 point center lead. They cannot hold it till the last.
It was a contested three.
There is a 13-second differential.
I was a little worried because I'm notorious for straight on 13 a game.
All right, on this one, I saw with my own eyes, Jacob Bates takes a big, deep breath right there. Jacob, I don't know if you remember it, but it's kind of like, all right, I got to go do this. And that's a tough thing. Left-handed. All of us on this call know that was Jacob's third hand, but still, that's a jump hook outside the halo.
There's a 30-second timeout called by Barry. We'll keep the action right here. 72-69, center a three-point.
Now, Greg, in a late game situation up 3, what is your policy on fouling versus not fouling?
It's a lot of coaches disagree with me on this. I think it depends on the team you're playing and the team you have. And right now, we were not talking about fouling up 3 because I thought the best thing Barry did was probably offensive rebound. I thought we had a problem with that. Now, the next possession we did it for 2.5 seconds. I had
Yeah, Coach Mason pumping up the crowd there.
Yeah, we needed help because runs a good play, some hammer action, and we're fortunate. Just a good look.
Rebound, fought for on the floor. Remember, possession now is Centers. It is a jump ball. Center basketball.
Got Gary Bug clapping on the baseline.
Did this game get away from me?
I checked it up. The play was just not going to work. It only works if something happens.
Yeah, we.
Baseline, I'll totally screw us on the play. Somehow, we still got it there. I totally screwed us on this play. I got everybody running in there.
Okay, I will tell you this. I think this is a double bonus moment. And if we'd have been in a single bonus, this would have been tough for us. Now, this is where I start talking. Okay, the 5 players are at the key area, and I start bringing them over, especially after Dawson misses his first one.
Every other SAA team's least favorite SAA basketball player.
You remember this part right here?
Yeah, I was going to call timeout if Dawson made it.
No,
And Perry was like, "No, we don't need it." I was like, "Oh, we're going to take it."
I was like, let's win this game. Let's get out of here.
But Dawson misses it. And here's where I bring Art over. Okay. Yeah, we're talking to Art, and this is where it gets funny. Art's like, "Coach, I got him.
Yeah. We talking about big man?
Yeah, you fouling. If right now I was like, okay, it's inside of 5 seconds. And looking back, I mean, it was a chance because they did go get the offensive rebound, and we gave them a chance to, maybe get something. But we had fate on our side right here. Everything that happened bad last year to us in the last little bit, somebody was looking out for us.
He's like about foul. Foul. Somebody makes it to my foul. No.
It's so good in my head that
Primary ball handler. Jones is a big, tall, rangy shooter.
For that second free throw. This could
Dawson does a reasonably good job of fouling. He wished it had been a little bit further up the floor. But
as Crump had won the game, he will foul Johnson on the way by.
Every time we do that, everybody in the crowd gets so bad. They have to just do while we're doing it.
But 1-1 up 3. A lot of coaches will let him go. A lot of coaches will foul in this scenario.
And Brooks will come back in for
us. You're like, switch out,
It said no thanks.
All right, Art, here's the mano-a-mano right here.
It's so cool, bro. I do my job here. Like, I foul it.
Yeah. So we're where we want to be right now. He didn't need to miss this one, obviously.
I tried to He threw me, bro. I'm on the ground.
It's the same situation.
We good. That's on us.
Miracle. A long rebound.
Yeah, we were very fortunate that he violated right here. We don't know what Dawson's doing, but he's okay.
Touch anything, and you have to, or it's a change of
Guys, I don't know about you, but when you have a big win, there's nothing like capping it off with a huge dunk at the buzzer. Am I right, you guys?
Yeah, nothing stupid now.
I didn't want to.
We'll get free.
Close. Almost.
Is the SAA men's basketball.
That's Justin's little cousin.
I've been in office right outside this for 9 years.
Look at RJ.
I'm glad they were finally able to pull the trigger and get over the hump and get to the conference or get to the NCAA tournament as the AQ. And I also have to give endless props to the Berry Vikings on an extremely well-played game. They're going to be a pain in everybody's butts for years to come with Mitch Cole here.
Well, and I got to think that that's what's going through Mitch Cole's mind. How did this game get away from us?
It happened so fast.
Center started hitting shots at about the 5-minute mark. And just
Man, I don't think they choked. I think we just won it.
Took the lead and then never looked back. Their first SAA championship in 6 years. And they will go as an automatic bid to the NCAA Division III National Championship Tournament. If you look here at statistics,
pretty even game, Jim.
Absolutely. The numbers extremely even. Center shot 51%, Berry 49%. From three-point range, these two teams lit it up today. 60% for center, while Berry shot 37%. Another 13 made three-pointers today for center. Scores for center. You got to think that he is among candidates for the MVP.
I've been in the weight room for that game. Back, still recovering from that.
Y'all know how we do it. Look at Mo.
Who's leading that dance? It's not Matt Moret, is it?
Come on. I learned that from you, Coach.
Is Matt Moret a big-time dancer, guys?
Yeah,
That's natural, Coach.
That's the number one reason he gets all the ladies, Coach.
You'll see my
Presented at midcourt.
Well, you know what this means, don't you, Jim? That means the sports info department has a selection show to prepare for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So, well,
and I know you love that.
You know, it'll actually be the first selection show I've watched since like 2014. I don't watch the D1 one.
I think you're just going to love watching it because of this team.
There's also going to be free pizza. So.
The picture right there. Big shout out to, they don't get any credit for that. They do so much for us. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a cool moment. Yvonne Morley, I posted on Twitter. She was the one that took the picture that we posted. So that was we have a lot of great memories from this day.
I think, though, out of all this, the play of the tournament is Bailey smacking the seat on backwards.
Yeah.
After it all, nothing.
Oh, it's fun for everybody. Especially after like a moment of hesitation to like make sure he had it right. It's like, okay.
We didn't even think about it.
No.
He did it aggressive, and that's all we wanted.
Crossed my mind one time.
If you're gonna make a mistake, make it aggressively.
Right, with some energy.
Don't be lukewarm. Bailey was not lukewarm.
Who's that guy right there in that suit? Yeah.
He's a handsome looking dude.
Look at him looking slick. Okay, I see you.
That was actually John Roush. That was Jamie Gay.
Don't you put that evil on me, Seth. I got a few years
Sorry.
yet.
I know you can fire me if you want.
It's a fun day for everyone. Obviously, credit goes to players, coaching staff, but top to bottom, we have a lot of fun. We win, especially when it's championships.
Top here and what they do for us.
And again, as this is going on, obviously a special moment, special day for us. And we were in the same spot last year as Barry. And Barry played a great game. And this is one of the best conference finals I can ever remember in the 15 years that we've been doing. It's probably closer to 15. So Barry's for real, and they're going to be a problem next year.
We get a couple minutes here of the net cutting, but I think that's pretty much it. So before we head out, again, I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to get together, and hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, and congrats on graduating for the seniors. And again, appreciate you all taking some time to watch this with us and share some of your thoughts and insight.
Thank you, Kyle and Seth, for doing this.
Now, this was fun. And, to the seniors, don't be strangers. But congratulations on a job well done and a nice capper to your collegiate playing careers.
You grab it.
I never had to touch it. Thank you guys for putting this on for us. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yep. Coaches, see y'all.
See ya.